Hi everyone, Nexius here, bringing you guys another 100 Magic Find Runs video. It's been a long while since I made one of these because Chaos Sanctuary takes a long time. On top of that, I also took a bit of a break so I could prepare for the upcoming ladder reset in about a week or so. So overall, here's 100 Chaos Sanctuary runs. I started from the gates all the way through the Chaos Sanctuary. I did not just rush to the seals. I actually killed everything, and you'll see that I get some pretty good drops because of this, so it was definitely worth it. So on run 5 we found a Lay on Hands, on run 7 off Diablo we found a Bone Shade. Here is run 18, we find a Nauseous Puzzler, one of my favorite items in the game because it does come with teleport charges if you are not a sorceress, as you can see right there. Pretty cool overall. I really wish stabs were more viable in terms of class builds, but stabs are really not that great. But overall pretty cool. Next run here on 19 we find a 4-socket Ethereal Monarch, which I almost missed actually. And then here next run on 20 we find a Lidless Wall. Not the best shield, but I think it's worth noting nonetheless because it's pretty good if you don't have a spirit. Here on run 29 we find a Storm Shield off Diablo, and we're just checking it out here, nothing too special, making some room. So as you can see there, Storm Shield. Now for a couple runs later on 31 I messed up and forgot to actually show the clip here, but Jade Talon and Jalaz both dropped within this Chaos run. I believe the Jade Talon came off Diablo and Jalaz was on one of the seal bosses. I just know both came from Chaos Sanctuary. So that is both on run 31, as you can see there. On run 38 we find a Natalia armor off Diablo along with a Covrune, which is pretty decent. Unfortunately I already have a Heart of the Oak. I would like a Lem though, so I can finish making a Treachery, but nonetheless there's the Natalia's armor. I'm not going to show like Alder weapons and stuff because Alder weapon is very common. Going on here, 46 should be another Storm Shield, as you can see right there. Moving on to 57, a 4-socket Dusk Shroud along with a 36 all-res Paladin Shield. I believe that should be next here. Maybe not. Did I mess something up? Elder Staff. I guess I forgot to note that I dropped in Ondol's staff here. Okay, I'm very good at making videos, guys. You can tell it's been a while since I did this. I just threw the clips together. I must have messed up at some point because I did like 30 runs like a month ago. Maybe another 30 runs about 2 weeks ago, and then I just finished off the last bit. So like I didn't do all the runs at once, of course, in a short period. So I must have like messed up the order of things. But that was an Ondol's weapon, of course, in between I think 46 and 57, something like that. Now here we have 57, 4-socket Dusk Shroud with a 36 all-res Paladin Shield. So this should be back on track now. If I mess up anywhere here, then I just suck. But there's the 4-socket Dusk Shroud. I did find some non-socket ethereal armors as well, like a Balrog skin and whatnot, which I do intend on making a future video where I try to cube socket these items. So a few here and there, no sockets, but ethereal, so they could be useful. But here are some of the most notable ones here. So 4-socket Dusk Shroud and the Paladin Shield. Waiting any second now to move on to run 59. This is where we start getting some good items. Run 59 here we find ourselves another Shaco. So I noticed a pattern, I've said this before, but usually first 50 runs I don't find too many great things. Then when I get to the last 50, so the second half, I start finding so many great things. So here we start with the first great drop, which is a Shaco on run 59. Then about 2 runs later we go to 61 here, and here's where I actually end up basically clearing out the full area like I mentioned, and this is where it starts paying off. Now I'm waiting for it to finally switch over. There we go. Run 61 here we have ourselves, not going to spoil it, but I'm sure most of you guys have seen it already. But right here, killing a regular Stormcaster, and we find ourselves a burr rune. So this is why Chaos Sanctuary is really great. Chaos Sanctuary is really great because you have a lot of monsters in an area, similar to say the Pit or Worldstone Keep. You have a lot of monsters in the areas, so you can kill a lot of them, and runes are not affected by Magic Find or bosses or anything. So the more monsters you can kill, the increased chance you'll find a rune. So that's why burr rune is pretty awesome here. Additionally, Chaos, Worldstone Keep, and Pit are higher levels compared to most of the other areas in Hell mode, and that's why they're really good for these kind of runes as well, aside from lower Kuros as well, of course. So also in run 61 here, after finding the burr, I move up a little bit, and suddenly Diablo walks the earth. Now, I don't notice it right away, but eventually I see it in the second here. That's where I was reading chat from streaming. So I was streaming here, and I was reading chat, and I didn't even realize he spawned in, so that's kind of funny. I see the fire, and I'm like, what the heck? There's Diablo. I took a safe way. There's a neat trick you can do here with the Diablo clone, is when he spawns like this in Chaos Sanctuary, go clear out the seals. So when I hit all of the seals and I kill this last seal boss, it will actually also kill Diablo clone along with everything else. So it's just a little fun fact there. It makes the Annie really easy to pick up. As you can see there, he dies to the final seal. And boom. So we go ahead and check it. This is the same run as the burr rune, by the way, run 61. So we go ahead and check it, and of course it's not really good. It's like average, I would say, at best. Now here I'm talking to Stormsong, take a guess. My current one is 2026, I think. I know it's 2020. So that one's going to be really hard to beat. It would have to be like 2027 or higher, basically. But you can see here, oh my god, I should have edited this out. This is really annoying. Okay, come on, let's identify. I know you guys are waiting for the identify. Come on, let's go. Can't really say anything else here. I already stated everything else. There we go, 15, 11, and 7. So it's a pretty medium to low end. Low end on res, but right smack in the middle of attributes and XP. So basically an average Annie, a little bit on the lower end. Now we finally move on to 62. We find a regular Monarch, no sockets or anything, but Monarchs are pretty hard to come by, so I figured it would be worth noting that one. Next run, 63, we find a Ravenfrost. So this is 3 runs in a row, we find something decent. We go from Burr and Annie in 61, Monarch 62, Ravenfrost 63, and then of course, it starts going down a little bit here, and we go to 65 with a Mastery GC, I believe. It should be showing up anytime soon now. I haven't identified the Ravenfrost yet. This is one of the downsides to streaming, unless of course I could edit this out, but I want to show you guys the raw clips here. When I find something like this on stream, I try to get players to guess it, to interact with viewers. But in a video like this, I could edit out, like just do a quick snip in between it dropping and then identifying it, but it might look like I'm cheating, and I don't want to make it look like that because I know a lot of you guys can be skeptical. So I just wanted to make sure I show the raw clips there, which is why it takes a bit of a while. But there's the Mastery GC from run 65. Going into run 67, we find a pretty decent bow here, the Hell Rack. I know most players kind of ignore these kind of uniques, but we have to keep in mind that for an Amazon, if you're like playing by yourself and you come across it, that's a pretty damn good bow to find, so that's why I'm showing it here. And now, of course, here on 67, same run as the Hell Rack, we find an Arcane's Valor. Kind of funny that I find this a little bit after making an Arcane's Valor lore video. I guess the warrior must have dropped it here and died. Like when he killed Diablo in Diablo 1 in his Hell area, he must have killed Diablo, and when he did the Soul Stone thingy in the cinematic, he must have left Arcane's Valor there on the ground. That's kind of a funny place to find it. Anyway, 71, we found a Shadow Killer. On 73, we find ourselves a Spiderweb Sash. Pretty awesome to find that. I might, once I make a Chains of Honor and whatnot, and hopefully I can find an Estrudas very soon, I might actually take away some of my Magic Find and just go full damage build, and just go crazy with damage and speed runs. I'm not too worried about having 400% Magic Find. 200% to me is enough, but... anyway, so you can see there's the Spiderweb, taking a while to identify it, talking to chat, you know, doing that typical thing. We have 2 more drops after this one, which we will cover in a second. Pretty long video. I do want to mention here, of course, Reaper's Toll here on run 75. I do want to mention here that, of course, it's a longer than usual video, not only because I had to save a little bit of the clips here without editing, but on top of that, when you're doing a full-on Chaos run, it's about 7 to 8 minutes per run or so, depending, at least for me right now. And you're killing a lot of monsters, so you're bound to find a lot of stuff, as you guys have seen. And finally, on run 100, the very last run, I find a Barb Combat GC right here. And that would basically conclude all of the loot I found in 100 Chaos runs on Players 1, by the way. So 402 Magic Find and on Players 1. So eventually when I get much more damage, I will go into Players like, say, 7, and I'll see how that plays out with the loot as well. So overall, that's all the loot. There it is. Lay on Hands, Bone Shade, etc. You can check it out there. Very fun to run. This took a long time, so now I've done Chaos, I can move on to other stuff in terms of 100 runs. If there's an area you want me to test out, let me know in the comments down below what run you would like to see next. Would you like to see Nilathak, Worldstone Keep, Bale? Just let me know ahead of time here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you as always on my next one. If you would like to support, don't be afraid to leave a donation or anything down in the description below. Check out my Twitch. I try to stream almost every day if I can. You know the drill. Overall, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.